Here are the collar ties on the front. Now, we decided to lower our loft for the plans, and then we decided to raise our loft back up, which is why there's a triple header beam on there. We just put those two 2x4s on there to raise the loft back up the 3 inches we took out of the loft, which was kind of wasteful. But you learn when you build things. So what we've got on our collar tie, I don't know if I can get above it and show you, but this is how this comes together. So we've got a piece of wood right here, and the reason you do a 2x4 this way is because you want something to secure the sheathing to. The sheathing helps hold all of these layers together. So the sheathing is glued to this, it's glued to these, and glued to the wall, so the sheathing helps give some structure to keep everything from lifting off the roof. So the reason you don't run this collar tie, well, you can, but it's better to do it this way because then you get a nice smooth surface bolted to it for the sheathing to here too, and then everything gets screwed to this, and then it's just a better process. Anyway, so that's how that comes together. 2x4. The collar ties sit on the header plate below this on the wall. We've got some, I want to say it's 1/2 inch material. I think it's 5/8 particle board. I don't know what it actually is, but what it actually measures is about 1/2 inch, which makes it perfect to space this out. Everything is even. And then we chose, they didn't really tell you how to secure these in, but since we're using 4x4s and it's cedar and cedar can crack, we actually put metal braces. So we actually screwed into the header plate, into our cedar beams, everything, literally everything that connects to anything is glued. So there's glue between here and the wall, there's glue between here and the center, there's glue between here and here. The collar tie is glued on the sides and on the front. Everything is glued. So to just give it some extra strength. And then the front, we did, ooh, I have a ladder. I could just walk up the ladder. So here's the front, and I'll show you the front, because the front always confused me. But here's the front. Now what we noticed is nothing is 100% level, so we've been using a belt sander to kind of even everything out so when we put our flooring on, it will work. By the way, these are posts from Lowe's that we spent a lot of time working on. These are 3 coats of Tung Oil, and these came out perfect. And if you can see as you go over to the outside of the house, now all this will be loft space. And you'll have an A-frame roof that comes up here. If you're having trouble visualizing it, this is going to be outside, the bottom of it. So what we'll do is this will be filled with insulation. There will be pieces you actually won't see, probably won't see these studs, because we'll put paneling up underneath, fill that with insulation, and then there'll be the flooring above it. So you probably won't see that, and then we might put a light in here somewhere to run electrical. I still got to figure out the best way to get electrical into this wall. And we actually found, this is really important, this beam right here, when we installed it, we actually had to have 3 people push this wall out because it was about, I would say probably 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch in. So this actually was great because once we got this in here, it squared up our building very, very nicely. There's our laser level. The laser level goes up here and shoots all the way to this back wall because right now the wall kind of curves a little bit. And so what we can do is put some braces in here, straighten the wall up, so then when we lay our plates down here, everything will be perfect. And then by the time the roof is on there, it will square it all up. And then when you take the braces out, everything will be where it should be. So that's how we squared that up. We squared the floor up before we put it on. We squared the walls up and put the sheathing on to lock all the walls down. We put the walls on the trailer, made sure everything was squared before we nailed them all in. We're actually only 1/4 of an inch off on that back corner, which sucked. But everything else was perfect. And we actually squared the top here once we had it all put on. I think we were only off about 1/16 of an inch on the top. So the top is pretty much squared, even though the walls did this. And the reason they do that is because of the way we built the walls. And so if you were doing a solid top plate all the way across, the walls aren't going to be as prone to doing that. So that's where we're at. This is, oh gosh, what, April 5th? Because I put these videos up late. And we're working on the flooring. The flooring will go up. And then I think we're going to put this wall, this is our bathroom wall. We're debating on whether or not to try to wedge that in under the floor after we put the loft flooring up, or if we want to build that wall first, which would be smarter, which is what we should do. But then we have to actually settle on a floor plan, and we have a mental block about doing that. So there's the house.